let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Arsenal Brighton. Yes, it's well documented that that match was marred by controversy, inconsistencies, or incompetence, like some other people have called this the performance of Chris Kavanagh in that game. Declan Rice was given a second yellow card for flicking a ball away when a player was going to take a free kick and it was sent off. And that totally changed the color of the game. But guys, let's talk about the incident. And I'm going to start with you, Eddie, on this one. Was the coach right to send Declan Rice off?
Well, I mean, we're talking about the referee here. Um, Listen, let's surround this thing by what is the laws of the game, because I think that, yes, referees make mistakes. I think that this is probably not going to be the first mistake that will be talked about in the league. There will be other mistakes that will be made as well in the league, but I think that there were so many things that could have been done either than the outcome that we saw. I think the referee got himself into a path that has created all of this debate. Because let's start from what is supposed to be a free kick. We understand what the laws of the game are. The ball must be stationary, right? And it has to be where the offense was committed. Now, the referee has a number of options there. I don't think he particularly saw the sequence of activities, because I think if he did, all that he saw was he had a memory that he had given a free kick, and then next thing he looked around was seeing Veldman do the swipe at Declan Rice. If, as the referee, that's all you see, then of course you're going to be thinking Declan Rice stopped a quick free kick from getting played. But I think if you actually saw the whole incident, the sequence of incident, Velman actually kicked the ball towards Declan Rice before he then tried to swipe in an attempt to say that it was a quick free kick. I think the referee got it wrong. Absolutely got it wrong. He could have called both players and spoken to them. It's not the first time that a referee would have to do that, especially because your objective is keeping 11 men on the field. So your management of the game is important. I remember Howard Webb, talking about this last season, where he was making reference, to a decision and saying, the referee could have managed that slightly a little bit better in terms of, managing the players on the pitch. Chris Kavanagh has form in this, right? It's not the only one. Michael Oliver is also, included in this. But the thing about inserting themselves into a game far more than they need to do, I think for me, he got it absolutely wrong. That was not the right decision to send Declan Rice off and completely change the game.
Festus, I needed to chip in on this one. Declan Rice clearly flicked the ball. Sending him off, was it right or wrong?
I think is a straight answer here. When you say right or wrong, there's a whole lot of factors that needs to be added before you could say, was the referee
No,
correct?
what he was booked for was
for
he
me,
flicked the
what it
ball.
was for me, what he was booked for, when you look at the rules, the referee was correct in doing what he needed to do. But now when you're bringing in other factors like what Eddie is saying in terms of other things, the other guys did this, yes, should have given Pedro a yellow
No,
card
no,
or
no, no, no. So Festus, I need us to stay on the issue.
yeah,
We're not talking about the overall performance. We're
okay,
talking about that. We're going to talk about the overall performance,
yeah,
and I'm sure we all will agree with that whatever. But
mhm.
because the biggest stories coming out of that one incident is inconsistency, incompetence, and
Yeah,
the rest of it.
yeah,
But
yeah, which is where I'm
that
going with it. Yeah,
one performance, that sending off, the
yeah,
second yellow
yeah,
to Declan Rice,
yeah.
was it justified or not?
Yeah, it was. Clearly, Rice should have known better. He's a professional. The rules clearly states, when the foul has been called, you stay away, you move out. Whether others does it and goes free, that is none of our business. That the referee has his rights to take whatever decision he wants to take. You should have stepped out. You could even find a way to block the Veltman by just stay in front of him, or you could keep going back by staying in front of him, just to like make sure he doesn't kick the ball or stuff. But you can't kick that ball. It's clearly against the rules, and the referee has the right to do what he needs to do. I'm an Arsenal fan. I know a lot of Arsenal fans were screaming blue mother about that decision. But for me, it is the referee's decision to either give it or not, and he decided to give it. That's it.
Okay, so Femi, now Eddie pointed out something. He said common sense, and I know we've had the conversation around this over and over again. What is common sense in that situation? What is common sense?
I think common sense is that the referee tries to understand what happened there. The biggest thing that came out of that,
and not do his job.
No, not that he shouldn't do his job, but if you want to make a decision as serious as sending a player off, you want to be absolutely clear of what has happened. If you look at the camera angle, Declan Rice had the ball. He lost the ball to that player. And usually, if you lose the ball to somebody, most referees would expect you that if you misbehave in that situation, you're going to get into trouble. So the referee was looking away. Declan Rice, there is a still image of Declan Rice remonstrating with the referee. That's when Veltman rolled the ball behind him. And he didn't know the guy had rolled the ball.
No, when he rolled the ball, Declan Rice was not remonstrating anymore. He was walking.
He had his hands up in the air trying to argue with the referee. Like, oh, we were both arguing for the ball. And then the guy rolls the ball, and the ball hits him on the leg. Precisely his right leg, if you look at it. And it was that same right leg, while that ball was still moving. When you're moving, you're talking to somebody, the ball you feel the ball on your leg because the guy rolls the ball, and then he looks at it and he taps the ball with the outside of his right foot. Like, oh, what is this? Like, and then the guy just hammers into him. So when you say common sense is then for the referee, if you haven't seen what has happened, to say, hang on.
Oh, sorry. If he was remonstrating to the referee, that means the referee was seeing the referee was looking at him.
The referee ignored him.
You can't be remonstrating to someone you're not looking at.
And I don't want to go back to, you said not to discuss other things yet. If you look at the first half, when Joao Pedro kicked the ball, Arteta was all in arms, the referee looked away. And we see that happen a lot in the Premier League. When people remonstrate to the referee just looks away like, I don't care. Like, I've given my decision, I've given my decision.
So what I'm trying to point out
then
is
you're not following
it was remonstrating to the referee.
Anymore.
It was remonstrating to the referee. So that's what I'm trying to point. You said it was remonstrating to the referee, which means the referee was looking at him.
But the referee didn't care. That's why I said, see, he was walking away remonstrating.
No, I'm not talking about what the referee did. I'm not talking about whether he cared or not. He was remonstrating to the referee because he had the attention of the referee, but the referee couldn't give him
and he lost because remember, if you follow my line of argument or my line of explanation, he lost the ball. The guy had the ball. Then because the referee gave the free kick at the time, he raised up his hand, walking forward to remonstrate with the referee, like, why have you given that? The referee just doesn't care. Goes like, I've given it, wants to walk away, and then suddenly he hears a scream. And he walks there and realizes that Declan Rice is actually, you say, notch the ball away, or maybe kick,
he did.
Whatever you want to say. But you have to look at and this is the most, and I think when we make rules in football, sometimes the rules work out well, sometimes they work out badly. This season, they've said when the referee makes a decision on the pitch, I'm sure we all remember that VAR will seek to intervene less. And I think that's what the VAR is saying there, like, well, Declan Rice touched the ball. So to be fair, the referee's made the right decision, even though.
No, but they looked at the incident after as well.
That's
they looked
what I'm
at
saying.
The incident before.
But you know that they've said that the threshold of intervention this season is going to be very high.
Yeah, but once so the rule now is.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, no, but you are misinterpreting it. If it leads to a key decision in the game, VAR has to look at it. If it leads to a key decision, like go or sending off, sending off.
Okay, let me ask you, just very clearly. Remember, and I don't want to mix other things with it. Let me just bring two things from that game that normally VAR would have looked at in the past and would have made a decision. But because they decided that the threshold for overturning the referee's decision is going to be very high this season. If you look at the first half, what's his name? Ben White hit the ball over 10 yards. He hit the player's hand, but the referee thought the hand was next to the player himself. That's dunk. So he didn't give the penalty. But if you look at VAR or the review of that thing, this guy had his hand away from his body. The ball hit him and then put the hand back. But the referee didn't give a penalty. And because they said the threshold would be very high, they decided, well, if the referee thinks his hand is by the body, we're going to leave it. The same thing when one of the guys went into Odegaard over the top. The referee didn't even give a yellow card. I mean, you could say don't send him off.
So Femi, let me just so we're getting this.
So VAR,
we're getting
all
this
I'm
VAR.
saying to you, Kali, I want you to.
We're getting it wrong. We're getting it wrong. We're getting the
all I'm trying to Kali.
VAR when you give, like in that situation, right? If there was a goal in that instance or a penalty or whatever, the referee will look at it. That incident is not because VAR didn't look at the dunk, whatever. They looked at it and they were like, the referee on the pitch got the correct call. So it's not like
it wasn't the correct call. We all can tell.
No. So to you, it's not. But to them, it was the correct call.
That's what they said. The bar for overturning the referee's decision.
So this is not about overturning or not. This was that they agreed with the referee. They agreed with him that.
Okay, we've had 3 games in the Premier League. Should we start looking at some of the decisions that last season 100% would have been overturned, but this season have not? Because again, they've said they want the game to flow, and so the threshold for overturning decisions will be very high. Most often, they've said if the referee makes a decision, we have to agree with it. It's got to be
if it's not, you what the statement is simple. If it leads to a key moment in the game, VAR must intervene. It's clear. Little issues like free kicks. No, VAR is not going to get involved in everything, check everything.
Exactly.
But if a goal is scored,
because it was a yellow card, not a red card. If the referee had given a red, then you can overturn it. But a yellow card, the fact that
do you know the Clarice's first yellow was checked for a red card.
Exactly, and it was a valid yellow card, so there was no problem with it. So, Kali, what I'm trying to say to you is, this was not a key moment in the game. It was key for Arsenal, but it wasn't key that you get a yellow card. If you had not gotten a yellow card before, they would never have overturned that decision. You know that. So VAR decided there was no reason to intervene because it was a yellow card decision. So the fact that you're sent off does not mean, oh, it's a serious decision. This was not a key thing in the game. It was one yellow card. And you could have been given a yellow card for that and all will be well. So the fact that you got a yellow card, VAR were never going to intervene. That's why you said, what's common sense? Common sense would be to tell the referee that, do you want to look back at this on the screen and realize that this has...
That's not... Sorry, Femi, I need to cut you off now. I'll say this clearly. Common sense is doing your job, is doing the right thing. Common sense is doing the right thing in an atmosphere where you don't create unnecessary drama, right?
And common sense is not giving the penalty from 10 yards.
In the case of Femi, we're not looking at the penalty. We're looking at Declan Rice. Femi, we're looking at Declan Rice's incident. And let's stay on point. We're looking at Declan Rice's incident.
But you have to look
now. Everybody has talked about. Oh, the ball was still rolling and everything. It's not the job of Declan Rice to determine if the ball stopped or not, or the players. If Declan Rice had not put his leg to the ball, flicked the ball away.
He didn't put his leg to the ball. The guy rolled the ball to him.
Declan Rice himself has said it. Declan Rice himself has said. Declan Rice in his apology said he shouldn't have kicked the ball away, and he will learn from that. He himself said it. So it's not the person who did it has acknowledged that he kicked the ball away. It was the heat of the moment. He shouldn't have done it, and he will learn from it. Right?
Kali, he didn't do it in the heat of the moment. His intention was not to kick the ball away. He walked away from the incident. The guy rolled the ball at him. There's a difference between going to kick the ball away and walking away from
the guy rolled the ball at him. I agree that the guy rolled the ball at him.
And you're just trying to control the ball, and it's gone to the left.
So you are saying,
Kali, let me just come in here. I think Femi is just being sentimental and he's arguing from. I see the point where he's coming from. This part, like you asked me a question and you bossed me into a corner that talk on that specific situation.
Yeah, because
Now,
he talked about VR, that's why I allowed
exactly.
it.
That's what I'm saying. If we're talking on that specific incident, believe me, at least somebody who watches football, Rice is guilty of kicking that ball, whether it was rolled towards him, whether he was talking to the referee or whatever. For the fact that a call has been made, you have no business with that ball or coming close. It is the referee's decision. It is at the referee's mercy whether he decides to give you. We've seen situations where people kick the ball, referee gives them card. We've seen a situation where people kick the ball, referee ignores it, or referee cautions them or warns them. So it is the referee's call. Whatever he does at that point, that is where you're saying common sense.
This is
now,
where
that is where you're saying common sense. But remember, the rule here is that you're not supposed to touch it when a call comes in.
No.
Now, if you're talking of the overall game, is a different thing. The referee was poor in the overall game. There was so many instances. But that particular issue, believe me, whether Price is an Arsenal player or not, he was wrong doing that.
You have to
Eddie wants to say something.
You have to put it into context. Kicking the ball in the field, in a game of football has different context. We're not just talking about the fact that he kicked the ball. Clearly, his leg connected with the ball. If you want
his leg did not connect. Eddie, let's use the right language. Let's use the right language. His leg did not connect to the ball. He flicked the ball.
He kicked the ball out.
Allow me.
Nobody was about kicking the ball out to his players and he kicked it out. Hold on.
He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
Hold on. Allow me to.
What do you mean by the leg connected with the ball?
Allow me to finish. His leg.
The leg detached itself and then
the leg is a wood and it was used to connect with the ball.
The leg,
like a golf club.
You guys one question.
Femi, let Eddie finish. Let Eddie finish.
The reason why I used that analogy, it was deliberate, because you guys kept saying that he kicked the ball. But that's why I wanted to make you understand context, right? The whole reason why kicking the ball can be good or bad is depending on what the situation is, right? And the situation there was meant to be a quick free kick, right? If it's not a quick free kick, we're not having a conversation. Do we agree on that? If it's not a quick,
it depends on what you mean, because I don't even understand what you just said.
No. So what I'm saying is this: the whole context of kicking the ball has to be around a situation in the football field. And the situation we're talking about now is a quick free kick.
Yeah.
Right? Do we all agree that it's a quick free kick that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Right. So if the action is a quick free kick, that means that everything surrounding that quick free kick has to be taken into consideration, not just a part of it. Right? So we see so many times when players want to take a quick free kick, the referee will say, well, you haven't completed the action. You need to go back because you're not taking it from the point where
you've taken it, where I've given the foul.
So we're going back there, right?
Yeah.
So this is why for me,
but Eddie, we've also seen referees allow, because players do this all the time. They try to gain 1 or 2 yards.
Tony's goal when he came back.
Hold on, Festus. They try to gain 1 or 2 yards, and the referee allowed them.
Yes, agreed.
It's the referee's call.
Agreed. Yes, the referee allowed them, but you can't then be caught up in two things. You can't allow for a quick free kick not to be correct, and then now punish one part of the quick free kick. That's my point.
But at the end of the day, Eddie,
that's my point.
But at the end of the day, it's not my job, your job, Arteta's job, or Declan Rice's job.
It's the referee's job, and he got it wrong.
So whatever they do, at the end of the day, what we pray for is consistency and competency, right?
Okay, can I ask you
hold on, Femi, hold on, let me finish. Whatever they do at that point, they are the officials. They hold the whistle. They blow. I'll tell you this: if Rice had not touched that ball, if he had not flicked that ball away, and the referee decided that, the ball was still moving, and let's say Veltman ran and kicked the ball and played the ball without Rice interfering, and the referee decides that, take the ball back to where it's coming from, it's the job of the referee. But Declan Rice took that power away from the referee, or that moment away from the referee, by flicking the ball. And when Premier League and the PGMOL were visiting every club before the season started, one of the things they told them was they were going to be strict. They don't want that 10 minutes injury time, 20 minutes injury time, 30 minutes, all those long injury times like we tried out last year and at the was it Euros or Euros, that they want to clamp down on time wasting in total. So at that point, what Declan Rice did was waste a bit more time. And they've told them it is a bookable offense.